1, 2, Gen Z's coming for you. 3, 4, ain't gonna take no more. 5, 6, not falling for your tricks. 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's get into this.
New generation of patriots. Being in political office is not being in a comfort zone. It is being in a dangerous zone where if you don't deliver, we literally chop off your heads. This happened throughout history. If you look at the history of Europe, Latin America, Asia, of Africa, if you did not deliver in those days, we chopped off your head.
Whoa, that sounds a little bit extreme, and I'm not subscribing to that. We're asking anybody to go out there and try that, or do it. Let's just fire him. Sounds much better. But even Professor Lumumba has come out and recognized this movement. The West has given these protesters a horrible name, and none of it's true. The people of the world, on the other hand, are saying, bravo, bravo. And that's like 99.9% of the world. So you're good, Gen Z, you're good. Who are these people anyway? Who is Gen Z? These people are infused with relentless and fearless God-given powers that are being maxed out in the hearts, souls, and minds that are manifested in human bodies, all united to overcome and defeat an evil and historically rooted and corrupt regime, with a greater good and a hope and a future for their motherland. So let me ask again, who are they? These are those that are showing the world that the power is in the consistency. Sorry, hashtag Ruto must go. I mean, I know you probably thought they'd given up by now, but if you don't know that you're not dealing with normal people anymore, then you're not paying attention. It looks like God's super has been put on their natural, and now these Gen Zers are supernatural beings. For 3 weeks, the world has been witnessing these revolutionaries, and across the world, the people of the nations are standing in solidarity with them. I'm sitting right now, but I'm standing with you in solidarity. And it's making politicians, not just in Kenya, but all over the continent, second guess their next move. Let's think for a moment. If personally you could hear their call to step out and they were asking you to step aside from your position that you were given by their trust, but now they find you to be untrustworthy, would you step aside for peace? Or would you fight with all you have to regain their trust? That is the question which in itself has been asked throughout these protests to William Ruto, but he so far has pretty much answered by hanging on to his position by a thread, which in itself, it's both admirable somewhat but very concerning. Very concerning to others, wouldn't you say? Let me know down below what you think about that. And let's take a look at the last few weeks and what we're dealing with here. And we're even going to recognize some of the Gen Z heroes along the way. So grab a drink. Let's dive in. All of these young women, young men, women, all ages, and these protesters are heroes, every single one of them. Not one more than the other, not one less than the other. They're all heroes. And I really like this guy. I think we'll be seeing a lot of them.
And what we are fighting for is for a fair Kenya. What we are fighting for is a Kenya without corruption.
But he's no more or less important than this man right here, who's been taking tear gas, been taking those bullets. And he's in the fight with everybody else. These are the heroes of the future. These are the heroes of now in Kenya. The protests, and this is just, and I'm only showing you a few of the protests. I'm sure you've seen them all, and they're everywhere, all over Kenya. Every major city has these heroes in it. But there's unsung heroes as well that are no more or no less of a hero than any of them out there. Let me introduce you to some of them right now, in case you don't know. This young hero right here, this young man Joshua Choir, is one of the heroes who can stand back and say, I was there and I did my part. He was bundled into a car. This young man here, this hero, Joshua Choir. My hat's off to you, brother.
They were asking me questions I didn't have answers to.
He says they asked him who was organizing and funding the protests.
It's an experience I don't like to remember because every time I remember, I get disoriented.
While some men bundled him into a car and questioned him, for standing up for the movement. These are your heroes, ladies and gentlemen. These are your heroes. You're doing pretty good. He was handcuffed and they put a bag over his head. These men marching up to the parliament, heroes. Media activist Chad Khalif being bundled into a car, taken away, abducted. Another hero.
To come over here.
That hasn't reassured activists like Bill Eugene Amolo, who says he was abducted last month and forced to sit naked in a room flooded with cold water for 24 hours. After he was released, he fled Nairobi.
I just miss home, and I personally feel like, I'm a refugee in my own country.
Bill says he took part in the protests to defend Kenya's constitution.
And hopefully he can go back one day, be recognized as the hero that he is. Now, as we're honoring these heroes, in addition to the 50 deaths, 413 people have been injured, 682 have been arbitrarily detained, and 59 have been abducted or are missing in connection with the protests. That says the KNCHR. So, bad idea for the government. You see, now there's this thing that these Gen Zers are implementing. It's called accountability. As I showed you in the beginning of this clip, kind of explained them in a 1908 sense of accountability. And these Gen Zers are serious. So without any further ado, as we march on to these now protesters in Kenya that are not giving up, but making those accountability in government. You see all these people.
A new generation of patriots. Being in political office is not being in a comfort zone. It is being in a dangerous zone where if you don't deliver, we'll literally chop off your heads. This happened throughout history. If you look at the history of Europe, Latin America, Asia, of Africa, if you did not deliver in those days, we chopped off your head.
1, 2, Gen Z's coming for you. 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen all over the world, I just want to say thank you all for watching. This is One Love. We are with you. Let our blessings and prayers go out to each and every one of you for your safety and your diligence and your tenacity and your greatness in what you're doing right now, which is spreading throughout the world. These are good vibes, ladies and gentlemen. And I just want to say blessings to you all. One love. Peace be with you. God be with you. Our prayers are with you. Keep going. And we'll see you all on the next one. God bless you.